It's time to talk sports, it's time for the show. When you hear this song on the radio, it's time to tune in, better act fast. Let me get that Potograph, Sports Talk Radio. Starting now.
Let's go! What's going on, everybody, and welcome to episode 147 of Let Me Get That Autograph. As always, my name is Drew, or the DH, and joining me, my awesome co-host, Scott Rappaport. What's up, man?
Oh, enjoying the jump from winter to summer without a spring.
Yeah, right?
You know, just it's one of those things, like we skipped spring. Allergies are going nuts when they shouldn't be, and all that kind of stuff. But I'm excited because this week is gonna be a rip fest for us.
Yeah,
because
it is. You
know what, the stuff that we got going on this week is opinionated.
Yeah, very much so.
And I'm really looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to actually the next couple of weeks. So we got some stuff planned.
Yes.
Make sure you mark off some time, not only to listen to this week's episode, but next week to the week after and all that stuff. We have some really exciting things coming up for you guys. But news broke this morning.
Yes,
we'll just dive right into this.
News.
Huge.
We gotta start with this. Yeah.
This is huge. For those of you that follow soccer, you know who Erling Haaland is. Striker with Borussia Dortmund, international player, just dropped this morning on Tuesday, the 10th, that this summer he is going to be transferring to Manchester City in the Premier League. Because, Manchester City is not stacked enough.
I was about to say, they really had holes to fill.
Yeah. And this is huge. Not only because Real Madrid was in the running, so he might have wound up in La Liga instead of the Premier League. Bayern Munich was in the running as well, so which would have kept him in Bundesliga. And then that's a stacked team as well. Yeah. But, obviously the Premier League, as far as a full league goes, is the best competition in
there's a reason it's called the English Premier League, because it is.
Well, they also have the Scottish Premier League as well.
Yes, but you know what I mean. This is the top of the chain, really.
Yes. And aside from a handful of other teams where he could have gone, Manchester City raises his profile.
Oh, huge.
Like tremendously, because, Dortmund, where he's at now, is not, look, they're a good team. They're a Champions League team, but they are not high profile.
Well, they don't have that crossover appeal to the United States audience. So the international audience, sure, they know him really well. But if you're a non-soccer fan or someone that dabbles into soccer, Dortmund's not one of those teams that's going to jump off the page because you can't even pronounce the damn name. You know, like that. So that's the big issue with that team, and it always has been.
No, and I'm excited about it because this opens up an opportunity where we may see something that Panini has done in the past with other sports.
Yes.
And this is going to be an interesting time. Panini for now and next season will still be the card producer for the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this being Haaland's first season coming up in the Premier League, technically he would be a rookie in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Now, Champions League, no, he's played in that before.
Right.
Euro Cup, and all that. He's played in that before. But will Panini decide to slap the rookie card logo on Erling Haaland's cards in the Premier League sets?
That's a really, really good question. Like you said, we've got precedents with like NASCAR, which I know we'll dive into in just a moment. But like this is, I honestly, I think they do. I think they do because, well, it's tough for me because they didn't with Saka, with Bukayo Saka and Prism this year. They didn't. But they didn't really have a chance to make cards of him before. So it's a gray area there with Saka. But I could see them doing it because, A, it would just throwing that stamp on a rookie card, it would up the value of the boxes, the demand of the boxes like crazy, but it would also bring about the question of how many people would actually consider it a rookie.
And that was my next question. Was how many people would actually consider it a rookie card? Now, the precedent is in NASCAR, the Panini the products that they've made.
Right.
When a driver moves up from one series to the next,
truck series to
Truck Series to Xfinity to Cup. Yeah. And I still keep wanting to call it the Busch Series because, I go way back for that. But they put the rookie card logo. How many times and even before that move, how many times has Haley Deegan had a rookie card logo on her card?
Right.
How many times are they going to do that with everybody? And Deegan hasn't even made the Xfinity series yet.
Yeah.
Or she might be there part-time now, but the each step that they make up,
is a new rookie. Yeah.
It's a new rookie, but nobody in the hobby really considers it their rookie. The people on eBay will slap, RC in the description and fine because it drives sales and it's technically it's got the rookie card logo on it. So
keyword spamming, it works, it's fine.
No, exactly. That's more acceptable than, the whole eBay one of one thing that people put in there when
possible PSA 10.
Cards numbered to like $4.99 and it's number 1 of 40. It's an eBay one of one. No, fuck you. It's not. It's out of $4.99.
Yeah.
Or jersey number. Jersey number 101, something like that. This is the dumbest things in the world. Now, so the precedent is there for Panini to have done that in other sports. The question is, will they do it in the Premier League sets?
Well, what do you think?
For Haaland, I don't know. I think...
Would you? I'm going to put you on the spot. If you're at Panini and in charge of making that decision, do you put the logo on?
I think it would depend on what else would be in that product.
And that's what I was about to say. The rookie class
is another exciting rookie or upcoming young player to throw in there.
Yeah.
Then I would put it on there.
Well, now you do have a couple. They do have. I don't know about Premier League necessarily, but I know for next year they do have some movement with Pepe and Caden Clark and people like that are moving overseas. I just don't know exactly which leagues and if Panini still has those rights and licenses or not to see if they would be in there. But I don't see a strong rookie class as last year. They kind of pumped out, they had to play catch up. So many people had rookies last year that I thought they put too many in and they should have held some of these guys back. You do have a decent rookie class this year, but let's face it, you slap that logo and you put Erling Haaland's name in the mix.
Exactly.
That changes everything. That changes it from just a regular box to like the box I'm showing you right now. Bowman 2022 first edition with Wander and stuff in it. It changes everything completely.
Yeah. So I honestly don't know. I think there's definitely a financial reason to put the logo on there for Panini. I think people are going to be chasing the cards anyway because it's going to be his first card in a Man City uniform.
And let's not
that's going to be huge anyway.
And let's not underestimate now, like you said, that's going to be absolutely huge. This Manchester City's world fame is astronomical. They're comparable to the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Cowboys. That's the type of team we're talking about.
Well,
you've got the brightest talent in the world.
Well, hold on. Think about it this way. I equate this to like when LeBron went to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Everybody, remember his base prisms? The first one in a Lakers uniform. Yeah. Those were going for ridiculous money, given it was like a 16th year.
And parallels still do.
Card,
parallels still do.
Because it was his first card in a Lakers jersey. So, will the soccer fans treat this card in a similar fashion, regardless of whether or not it's got the rookie logo on it? And I think they will, because Man City has a massive following worldwide. Even here in the United States, I play in a parent league on Saturdays with, for my son's travel soccer team with a bunch of the other parents who, by the way, like I was billed as like, this is a bunch of guys going out and kicking the ball around on Saturday mornings. No. Okay. So a couple of the parents played professionally. There's a mom that plays with us that played D1 in, college. Like I'm out there like, and granted, I'm not in good shape, but I'm out there like literally getting my ass kicked because I'm playing way above my league. But anyway, a lot of these parents, they're talking because it's, we played 8:00 on Saturday morning. And the Premier League games are, well in full swing at that point during the day. And it's like, hey, the most common question is, does anybody have the Man City score? Mm-hmm. And does anybody have the Arsenal score? Yes. That's it. That is all they ask, and there's usually one person on the side who will, keep track of all that kind of stuff, while they're waiting to come into the game or whatever. It is a massive following that Manchester City has.
And that's why I think that these cards with rookie card logo or not, I think no matter what Panini's decision ultimately is now with this, I think these cards are going to be in insane demand because of a couple reasons. If they put the rookie card logo on it, not only do they have a big following, but most people are priced out of his original rookies to begin with. So the chance to be able to grab some rookies and have it in Manchester City, I could see easily being appealing to collectors, especially that are priced out of the stuff. Because, his rookies are in golden now. They're not on his
but they've come down. They have come down in the last year and a half.
They're going to be going up.
And that was going to be the next question was, what is it going to do to his rookie cards?
Look for a record sale look for record sales on almost every product. I'll guarantee you in the next month and a half.
Yeah. And most of the rookie cards that they're, people are chasing for him were,
stickers.
No, Topps Chrome.
Oh yes.
The 19, I think it's 1920 Premier League Topps Chrome.
It was.
And those cards have been, and I still love that it's the 2019, same design as 2019 baseball.
Yeah.
I love that design. Always absolutely love that design. And that card just became a massive, massive card. And we know that, the quality that usually, comes out of the Topps Chrome is, most of the time Topps, Prism. I hate to say it because I don't have any problems with Panini, but Topps Chrome.
There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that for the most part, and that's because Panini always does a full border, and on Topps Chrome, there's not a lot of full border designs, and it's 10,000 times easier to cut non-full borders. I'll tell you that right now.
No,
I know a lot of Topps Chrome lately has been full borders, but a lot of them have also been quarters or half and 50, and that makes it 10 times easier to cut.
And this year, correct. 2022 Topps Chrome will be a full border because
it will.
Topps is a full border.
Yep. So we'll see about that one.
Yeah. No, exactly.
But you are right. The quality control on them does tend to top Prism.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what happens. I think this is going to be a huge deal.
Yeah.
Within the hobby. And I think it starts now, since it did get announced this morning. And I think you're going to start seeing his values rising, because those Man City fans are going to be scrambling to get anything they can with him on it.
Oh, dude, like I said earlier, I completely agree. And I think you're going to see, I would not be surprised in the next couple months to see multiple record-breaking sales, probably one after another, leading up through the year, through the season, heading towards the World Cup. You want to talk about a guy who's got some massive hype going into the Cup now. Now he's going to be with City all the way up until all of that.
I didn't realize until this morning, his father played for City.
Yes.
For 3 years, and he's, still a well-loved guy from that team from the early 2000s.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's a matter of time before everything just explodes with his market.
Absolutely. And, one other thing that this does that we didn't touch on at all is we mentioned how stacked his team was. Yeah. Now, a lot of these other guys finally going to get a chance to shine because, let's face it, Haaland was the face of that team for a long time. Losing Haaland does not bury this team. This team's got a ton of talented players on it, and so you might start to see a spotlight on some of those guys.
Well, Bellingham needs to get back into form. Makoko needs to start playing better.
Yeah.
It's a decent team. Who's at Reiner Jesus? Yes. I think is on there as well. But none of those guys. Reiner will be there long term. I think he's there forever.
Makoko's not.
Makoko's not. Neither is Jude Bellingham. You're going to see those guys jump to another team somewhere along the line within the next.
Finally getting more attention. And who knows? Maybe Jude Bellingham not playing with Haaland, maybe it frees up some space and more touches for him, and maybe he can, he's got to take advantage of them. And like you said, both of them got to play better. But his movement to City does impact those guys, I think, values as well. Because I think people, someone's got to score for that team. Someone's got to do everything for that team. And it's a popular team. So, this is a move that shakes up a lot of stuff in soccer and then brings up, like you said, just a crazy question with will Panini slap that good old rookie card logo and confuse us all like it seems every card company wants to do every month, it seems.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. But speaking of big cards and everything, over the weekend, thank God, but over the weekend, it was finally pulled. The card that Drake's been after, that everyone's been after in the entire world, that Whatnot was offering the damn breakers who broke it a Lamborghini if they got it. I mean, anything that you could do to get this card pulled was done, and it has finally been pulled. The LeBron Triple Logoman. And of course, because, it just proves that God has a sense of humor, it was pulled by a group of people that I will not name that did not give out a Trevor Lawrence that they promised to give away. You know who we're talking about, a bunch of entertainers masking as breakers over on the Whatnot channel. But the logo these are
the guys that want to be the jackass of the breaking world.
They're definitely jackasses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, there's, you have, the one guy that even looks like Steve-O. Yeah. And, this just, I mean, here's the messed up part. Yeah. As the April Fool's joke, I think they put out.
They did.
They pulled it.
Yeah, they did.
And this whole time, who knows how long they've been sitting on that case.
Yeah.
But they pulled it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if it was real or not. I thought it was somebody reposting the April Fool's joke.
Me too.
Which, great. It was a good April Fool's joke. I give him credit for that one.
Yes.
However, I would have liked to have seen a breaker with a better reputation.
Yeah.
Than
Respect
these
for
guys.
The hobby and the people in it.
Yeah.
That actually care about the hobby and the people in it. Yeah.
Yeah. I just... and these guys are going to make bank because Whatnot's giving
them at least
one of them giving a Lamborghini.
A lot of other stuff. This was a massive, massive promotion put on.
Didn't Golden put a $5 million bounty on that card too?
Yeah, Drake right away offered I believe 2 or 3 million, and then another offer was put in over it, and then Golden, I believe, put up a bounty now, or somebody has up to around 5 million or so, and that to me is just absolutely nuts. Forget about ignoring the douchebags that I refuse to name that pulled it. Shout out to those assholes. Despite all that, the offers are mind blowing to me, because I'm just going to go on and say what I'm sure a lot of people are thinking. And please tell me if I'm wrong on this. This card's ugly as shit.
No, you're very, very right on that.
I'm sorry. This card is ugly as shit. This looks like a guy who's practicing making custom cards for people, like a card artist who's just starting out and figuring out how to glue shit together. I mean, you can't even see LeBron on the Heat. It's like his head's peeking out, like those memes where they slide up and they slide down and the little stickers. It like his head's barely sticking out. Like this card looks like total shit to me. I mean,
what they should have done,
game used jerseys, that's awesome, but it looks like shit.
What they should have done with it is made it not a triple logo man, but a dual logo man, and made it a book.
Yep.
Where you have one logo man on each side with much better images, and I know, look, people hate, or a trifold. Yeah. People hate book cards. I get that, but
they like this one.
No, but like this, you have so much. You have so much more space with a book to put a solid image of maybe him dunking. With each, team. Obviously, there's not going to be any ink on it because he's still, LeBron's exclusive with Upper Deck.
You wouldn't have anywhere to put it anyway. I mean,
if you had a book, if you turned it into a book, if you had a book, you could even have it. You could even have a triple sign if you had a book. Assuming again he was able to sign for Panini, but this is just absolutely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And the really messed up part is I think people would still be going crazy over it, even if it wasn't game used.
Yeah.
Even if it was, player worn, team issued. It could be fucking retail jerseys.
Oh, they'd go for it.
It's a LeBron logo man, know. But you look in, how many logo men have you seen out of National Treasures this year that people are spending ridiculous amounts of money on that aren't even player worn?
Right.
And granted, they have ink, but it's LeBron. They want it. It's, I don't understand. And everybody knows my feelings about LeBron. I give him credit for being a good player. In fact, I'd even call him a great player. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no question about that. But he's a whiny little bitch. And I just don't see the appeal of the ugly card. Well, let me rephrase that. I see the appeal. I don't see it being a mid 7-figure card.
No, and I don't see it being like this timeless piece that like everyone was making it out to be. Like people were making this out to be like this is some iconic, legendary, like something that's going to be one of the biggest cards of the modern era, blah, blah, blah. If this is one of the biggest cards of the modern era, fucking take me out back and shoot me because it's ugly as shit. I'll say it again. I'm going to keep saying it because it's ugly. And it pisses me off how ugly it is. When I saw it, I laughed. I literally, when you were talking about rehashing the April Fool's joke, I thought they were rehashing the April Fool's joke because I thought this was a mock-up that someone made as a joke. And then I found out it was real.
No, it was real.
They an actual team of people and a big team of people actually put this whole stupid thing through the process and thought that it looked good. I know.
Well, the funny thing is the rest, all the other cards that I've seen out of Flawless look good.
Yes, exactly. They look beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
But everyone's like, all right, well, how do we do a triple logo man? Well, okay, we don't know.
Just jam them all on here and see what happens. The only cool part about it, and I will say this, I do think this is cool. Obviously, LeBron's been playing for so long and the jerseys change. All three of the logos are different. You go from having the Stitch logo to the rubber logo to the screen print logo.
Yep.
I think that's cool, and seeing kind of the evolution of the logo itself is neat to look at. I will say that.
Somebody in one of the groups commented about, going from the logo man to the logo woman because of the way that the silhouette was drawn, like the hips are bigger and all that kind of shit. And I did kind of laugh at that one because that was
it is. There's been some funny comments on it.
Yeah,
but I did like that aspect of everything. It's just like I said, I don't see this as in 5 years. I don't see this as an iconic card.
No,
I don't care who owns it. I don't care who grabs it. I just don't see it standing up. If you set this on any wall, if you put that triple logo man on my display right here in my room, it blends in and is almost hidden by all the other nice looking cards. I don't see this card standing the test of time, value wise or anything. In fact, I think this may wind up being the next NFT. Yes.
And I say that, not because somebody's going to turn it into an NFT, but because, you saw a lot of these NFTs going for, $500,000. And like 3-4 weeks later, they're reselling on the next market for $30,000 and, going even less. And that is this card.
Yeah.
There's aside from them coming from game worn jerseys, if you took the $5 million that, Ken Golden put out for this card, Ken could buy how many game used LeBron jerseys for $5 million?
Signed ones, probably.
Yeah. he could go out and buy his, probably 15 game worn LeBron jerseys, full jerseys.
Hire a real artist, cut it up himself, get them signed, and make a beautiful one.
Exactly. So what frankly, I'd rather have a full-on game-used jersey than the triple logo man. And I don't even know what to say. It's that bad looking.
It's that bad. This was a massive, and now I'm just going to leave it at this. This was a massive, massive swing and a miss by Panini in terms of making this card. If you were going to put this card out and then aid and go along with the massive push with Drake and Ken Golden and whatnot and everybody, and really work with pumping that Flawless up and to get that stuff ripped, man, you can't have this be the end result. Like, no, you just can't. This
might be the biggest disappointment.
Yep. That I've 100%. Seen. So it's the biggest disappointment of a card I've seen in a very long time, and by any company.
And we've seen some really ugly stuff come down the line too.
I was about to say, there's been some terrible stuff.
Yeah,
there's been some terrible stuff, but this one, man, this one's just bad. From the bad design to the shitty people pulling it, I don't know. It's kind of a depressing end to a fast chase.
I know.
Hopefully whoever gets the card's at least happy with it, but just don't plan on making any money on it.
Now, that is true. Well, on that note, Drew, I think it's time to go pay some bills.
Let's do it.
We'll be back after this.
And welcome back, everybody, to episode 147. And you know what time it is. Time for the segment that is still taking the nation by storm. That's right. It's time for Movers and Shakers.
Drew, I think you're going to like the one I got this week.
All right. Let's hear it, bud.
It ain't even a person.
What?
It's not a person. It's not. Maybe it's an athlete. It is an athlete. It is a living, breathing being. My mover and shaker this week is Rich Strike.
Yeah. There you go.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you because this is a horse that should not have even been in the Kentucky Derby.
I know.
He was literally a last-second replacement for a horse that scratched. Was an 80-1 long shot.
Yeah.
Now, if I was, I typically don't bet the horses. I definitely don't bet them online. But if I go to a track, I do, I'll put some bets down. And what I'll usually do is throw a couple of bucks down on the longest shot to win, just for fun. Yeah. Because, and then I'll put some real bets down on the, the other horses or whatever. But I would have, had I been there, had I been at an OTB or something like that. And, unfortunately they closed the track. I literally live a mile and a half from Arlington Racetrack, which is in the process of being purchased by the Chicago Bears and will hopefully be the new Bears Stadium. But, we used to go there for, Mother's Day weekend. We used to go there for, Derby every once in a while. And I bet the horses there. So I would have made this bet, not a huge bet. I probably would have thrown like $5 on it.
Yeah.
That still would have been a nice payoff at 80-1.
I know.
And literally comes from nowhere.
Yeah.
There's the NBC had the aerial view. He, coming out of the last turn, he was running like 10th.
Yep.
And just weaving in and out of all these other horses. And it makes that last second to win by half a length. This was I think the greatest horse race I have ever seen in my life. And I'm shocked because I'm like excited to see, I want to see Belmont. I want to see the Preakness. Yep. And normally I could give two shits about horses.
Right.
I like the fact that NBC has Eddie Olczyk doing some of the coverage on it because I love Eddie Olczyk, one of the greatest hockey analysts on the planet, but he also knows horses.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, when he won the Stanley Cup with the Rangers, his day with the cup, he brought it to the stables and had his horse eat oats out of the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know that. So I like hearing Eddie's take on it. It's fine, but I am excited now for the Belmont and the Preakness because I want to see what the odds are going to be for Rich Strike.
Yeah, I know.
He is not going to be an 80-1 long shot for those.
But he's not going to be that favorite either. Like he's still going to have some far off odds. I love it though. I love going with the horse for moving.
I'm going with the horse, and I got to say, man, sorry. Horses, I can't miss an opportunity to throw in a Blazing Saddles reference.
Exactly.
So there we go.
I like it, and I agree. That was one of the most exciting races. Guys, if you missed it, it's only 2 minutes. It's fun to watch. Go check it out because it is pretty amazing. Unfortunately, Rich Strike does not have any autographs out there on the market for you to chase. But I have a feeling you'll probably have some really cool stuff from the derbies, some memorabilia type stuff.
Well, they did, that Panini a bunch of years, or no, actually it wasn't even Panini at the time. It was still Donruss at the time with Donruss Americana.
Yep.
They had a couple of jockeys that had some race use memorabilia, and I think like Steve Clawson or something like that was in there. Yeah. Actually, I literally just ran across a couple of those relic cards of his maybe an hour before we started recording.
Nice.
Sitting in a box.
I could see Allen and Ginter or something, maybe possibly putting some type of remembrance of this in some way, shape, or form.
Remember 08 Allen and Ginter? They had a box topper.
Yeah.
Bigfoot signature, and it was, just like, I guess they just drove a tire over it or something like that. And it was, so maybe they put like a hoof print or, something.
Do something on with there. Because it's definitely, Kentucky Derby legendary. It's something that the ratings tell you. I mean, it's a massive event. It's huge. This is going to go down as one of the biggest shocks and most incredible derbies of all time. Like you said, it gets a lot of people excited for the other races. So excellent mover and shaker from you this week, my man.
Thank you. All right. Who do you have on deck that can follow the 80-1 long shot Kentucky Derby winner?
Well, I'm going to go with my MVP this year, as the MVP was announced, and of course the Joker took home his second straight MVP, but I'm going to go with the guy that should have won it, and that's Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid. Absolutely.
I like that pick.
Hands down.
I do not like his choice of face mask color.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree there.
Because I hate to be the one that says it, but it looks like he's in blackface.
Yeah, it kind of does.
I mean, it's terrible. Like, I understand the need for the face mask because he's got a broken orbital bone. I get that.
Yeah.
He still wants to play. He needs a mask. Come on, dude. Do clear.
Yeah. Go with it next time. But no, Joker getting the MVP, I think, instantly made Embiid my mover and shaker, because I think Joker's finally going to get some attention on his cards. But I think Embiid, let's face it, I think the Sixers are going to go a lot farther than the Nuggets, even though the Sixers have a very tough matchup right now with the Heat, as the Heat match up incredibly well with this team. So they are going to struggle to get by the Heat right now. But Embiid put up amazing numbers. The dude averaged on the year, he averaged 30 points a game, shot 49.9%, 37.1% from three, 11.7 rebounds a game, 4.2 assists a game. The dude's a beast. He gets no love because of that whole trust the process nonsense, and that having to live with Ben Simmons, who literally just wanted to get paid and then do nothing, I really think hurt his value a lot. And it dropped him. I mean, his stuff's up now, to decent levels. But Joel Embiid is my mover and shaker, because I think that this guy, if he can stay healthy, which, I mean, a lot of people don't realize this, in an era of load management, he played 68 games this year. The dude played almost a full season as you can do.
And I don't think when he was out, I don't think he was out for load management. I think he had some legit injuries.
Yes, it was injuries.
And I think, now here's the thing. So I think I think he was deserving of the MVP, because he had an amazing season. I think it was a coin flip in him and Embiid. It
was.
I think not getting it is going to fire Embiid up.
Yes.
And he is going to show, the sports writers that voted on this for the rest of the playoffs why they should have gone with him.
I think the rest of the playoffs and next year. I think until the next MVP vote, I think you're going to see this dude angry and almost a Mamba-like focus of, dude, I'm going to show you.
And I think they're going to have a tough series with the Heat. I think they're going to have a hard time getting past either Boston or Milwaukee, whoever wins that next. Yeah. But if they can somehow manage to make it to the NBA Finals and win it, you're looking at your Finals MVP in that case. Like right now, with Golden State, if they were to make it and win it, I think right now it's a toss up between Curry and Poole.
Yeah.
But Philly, it is absolutely clear right now that if they are the champions, it is Joel Embiid that is the Finals MVP.
I think they would also give it to him if they want to make up for not giving him the MVP in the regular season. I think a lot of voters would say, okay, if he didn't win the regular season MVP, he guides his team to the playoffs. To the championship. He's getting that MVP.
Well, if he keeps up the level of play, I agree with you 100%. But if there's somebody else that steps up,
well, Maxey
would be the other one that I would consider that has the potential to do it. But if somebody else comes out of the blue and just steps up during the finals and it puts up significantly better numbers than Embiid, they're not going to have a choice.
Of course. But no, I do think, like you said, that was my main reason is what you nailed. Not getting it, I think, fuels him to another level. And I don't think Joel Embiid has reached his ceiling. I think he's got a lot more that he can do. I mean, he's been in the league since 2016. So, he's in his 6th year.
Wasn't he a 2013 or 2014 draft pick? 2016. No, draft pick.
Oh, yes.
He didn't make it into the league just due to injuries and all that kind of stuff until then. So.
Right. And then even his first year only played 31 games. But then since then, he's played, 60-plus games every single year, except for obviously the COVID-shortened season and stuff like that. But I mean, this year he played the most games he's ever played. He put up the best percentages ever. I mean, when you're shooting 50% from the field and almost 40% from three as a big man with 11 boards a game, that's just, how do you stop that? I love Embiid, and I love where his card values are at right now for people that want to chase him, because I think you've got an opportunity with, forget the prisms, forget all that. If you don't want to chase all that, go after some other stuff. He's got a good amount of stuff out there, but not too much. It wasn't oversaturated, wasn't overprinted. But Embiid is a guy that, even if it's not a rookie, I go after some autos. I go after some low-numbered parallels, things like that. Because Embiid, to me, has a hobby ceiling that he is not close to hitting yet. And and losing that MVP just gave you that little gap, I think, to still be able to grab some at amazingly low prices for what this man's going to be. And trust me, this dude takes stuff personally. You are about to see a different man step on the court the rest of the year.
Agree 100% with that.
There you go. So that's going to wrap up this week's Movers and Shakers, y'all. But before we wrap up the show, we've actually got some really interesting news. And thanks to my amazing co-host here, I knew there was a reason I got one. Did some amazing work and actually has some breaking news here for you as well. Guys, it was brought about over the weekend that Topps in 2020 Topps Chrome F1, that the 70th anniversary superfractor of the Ferrari logo and Sergio Perez of the 70th anniversary. Remember, they had the 70th anniversary parallels that were unnumbered in the box. Well, it turns out that the Sergio Perez and the Ferrari have two superfractors, which obviously a superfractor is supposed to be a one of one. So the big thing in the F1 world right now is everyone asking, are there two supers of everything? What's going on here? Was there a mess up at the plant? What happened? We don't know. But thanks to my awesome co-host Scott here, we got a little more information about this.
So I decided to go back and take a look at the pack odds. And the cool thing about 2020 Topps Chrome Formula One is that it was a hobby-only product. So it actually made it very easy to run the numbers. There was no retail, there was no fat packs, none of that kind of stuff. So looking at the pack odds, the one of one numbered superfractor was seeded one in every 3,419 packs. Wow. And the 70th anniversary superfractor is seeded one in every 3,384 packs. Now, if they are truly one of ones, those odds should be equal.
Right.
But they're not.
Yeah.
Now, if you do the math behind it with the number packs, it's a 200 card set. Assuming that the numbered superfractor, it's right, 70th anniversary superfractor, there should be 202 of them.
Okay.
Now, that means one of a couple of things. Means one, that the two duplicates that we've seen, Perez and the Ferrari logo, are the extra superfractors for the 70th anniversary, and you won't see duplicates on any of the others. could also mean that the pack odds are wrong.
Yeah.
And my question would be, why would they print 2 extra superfractors? And then why would they pick those 2 cards as the 2 extras to print in order to fill it out? But then, and I haven't run the numbers on this, but if you look at the gold and the gold wave, they're both numbered to 50. They're both 1 in every 68 packs. But the 70th anniversary gold is 1 in 30. Mm-hmm. Orange, numbered to 25, and orange wave, also numbered to 25, both 1 in 136 packs. 70th anniversary orange, 1 in 46. So what that means is there are significantly more of the 70th anniversary golds and oranges than the numbered golds and oranges. Now, the reverse is true for the reds. So the red and the red wave are both 1 in 680 packs, but the 70th anniversary red is 1 in 848. So there are fewer 70th anniversary reds than the print run of 5 that the red and the red wave are serial numbered to.
Yeah.
So the question is, are there, with the reds, and I still have to run the numbers, but with the reds, does the math come out to where it's 3 of each?
Right.
Or does the math come out to where it's 3.5?
Yeah.
Where, each card has 3 and then there's 100 cards that have 4.
Right.
We don't know how they did it, but for some reason, if the pack odds are correct,
right,
they made 2 additional cards that are the 70th anniversary superfractors. So I'm curious.
His printing plant couldn't do anything right.
Well, maybe that was who knows? Maybe it was by design.
Maybe
because obviously with the pack odds being different on those 2, Topps knew about it because they have the odds on there.
Yeah, that's true. The odds state 202.
Exactly. And the 70th anniversary cards not being serial numbered means that they left open the possibility that there could be more than the serial numbered version of it. So now that we know this, 1, what does it do to the value?
Yeah.
2, if there's anybody out there, what I'd like to see, if you have a 70th anniversary superfractor from Topps Chrome Formula 1, post it on Instagram and tag us.
Yes.
Go to our Facebook page, and tag, and post it up there, because I want to see how many of them that are, they're out there. And especially if they're, 2 different people have the same ones. We know that the 2 duplicates exist. We know the Ferrari logo and we know the Perez.
Yes.
But if my math was right, and if the pack odds are right, those are the only 2 duplicates we should see.
So if we see a third, then pack odds are wrong, which that's an issue.
Correct. Now, and again, we wouldn't be able to, it would be a lot more difficult to run these numbers if there was, blaster boxes and fat packs and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But this is a strictly hobby only product. Now, what we don't know, there's a lot of this product because the prices got jacked up so fast. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of this product that's still sitting unopened.
Oh, lots of it.
So we don't know, what else is out there.
Yep.
I want to see it. But let's start with the superfractor, 70th anniversary superfractor.
Yeah.
Not the serial numbered 101, 70th anniversary superfractor. Let's start with that one.
Yep.
If you have one, I don't care if you got if you only have one, it's fine. Post it.
Yeah.
Throw it up on Instagram and tag us, post it to our Facebook page, because let's try to get as many images from the different people as we can. Let's try to figure out if there is additional duplicates that are out there, because I want to see what the deal is with it.
Well, so do I, and not only just because not only for my own curiosity, but because this could end up being a massive landmark set. It's 2020. It's the initial drop.
I think it's already a massive landmark set.
Well, I do too, but it would be interesting to know if a third one pops up, then all those unopened boxes, all of a sudden, hey, is the other Lewis Hamilton in there? Blah, blah, blah. It opens up the door for everything, or all the other Lewis Hamiltons, since there's a 70th version for everything, all the Grand Prix, all these,
Well, if there were duplicates on all of them, the pack odds should be exactly half of what it is on the serial numbered 1 of 1.
And that's what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting to see through all this if we come up with a third one, and If I really hope we don't, because if pack odds are off, that's really concerning. If you can't trust the pack odds and everything, then how can you really trust anything? Yeah. If they can't get that right. So,
but I'd also like to hear from somebody at Topps, because
too.
It's, it's very possible that they, and I think it's extraordinarily likely that they knew that there were extras on a couple, which is why they adjusted the pack odds in the way that they did, and what that means for. Like, are there others out there, that they knew about? I'd like to hear from somebody at Topps. I'd like, and then again, if you got the Superfractor, post it to Instagram, tag us, post it to our Facebook page, and let's try to see if we can root out, see if there's that, a third one that's got duplicates or even more.
Yeah, we'll reach out to, and we'll also reach out to Topps this week. I'll reach out to a couple people, see if we can get an answer, and see if we can have somebody come on the show to talk about it as well. As I've got a couple people at Topps that owe me a favor to come on, so we'll see if we can maybe get them to come on or at least answer some questions and give you guys an update on that. But some more controversy in the F1 world. It never stops, especially with that product. I don't think any product has had more issues and more just weird stuff than the very first F1 release ever. But on that note, guys, we are going to wrap up this week's episode of Let Me Get That Potograph. Scott, I think this is probably a good point. What do you think?
I think it is. We got some really, again, touched on at the beginning of the show. We got some really exciting episodes coming up the next 2 weeks as well. So make sure you guys are tuning in for that. A lot of really cool stuff coming down the pipeline, including in a couple weeks, an opportunity for you guys to give back. Yes. And we'll explain more about that in a couple of weeks.
Yes, as Scott said, next couple of weeks going to be filled with some awesome guests, guys. We've got some guests coming on the show, as well as, like Scott said, an opportunity for you guys to really do something absolutely amazing for the world. So a lot of really cool stuff coming up. We'll be announcing some information, like I said, on the live show as well. We will put that information out this week. We'll get all that information out and have the first one scheduled for you here soon. So you guys will be able to check all those out. But we have a lot of awesome stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. So definitely mark them on the calendars. You do not want to miss them. But Scott, it's always a pleasure, my man.
Oh, this is a fun one, Drew.
It was. It's always fun when you don't have to report the news and we get to give some opinions, because we try to keep the opinions out of it if we had, on certain things. But this was a nice fun one where we got to, give our opinions on some stuff. By the way, that triple logo, man, it still looks like shit.
I think I'm going to ask you about it again next week to see if your mind has changed, but I got a feeling it hasn't.
Oh, no, it's not going to.
No.
But once again, guys, that is going to do it for episode 147. Before I go, we got to thank our awesome sponsors, Vanity Slabs, Vintage Breaks, and Card Crusade. Could not do the show without you guys. Once again, Hobby Hotline every Tuesday and Thursday. I'll be on tonight, but you will have had to have had ESP to go check that out. But it's every Tuesday and Saturday. And then, of course, Letter Rip every single week. So make sure to check all of those out, as well as we'll be doing a lot of really cool stuff. And hopefully we'll be bringing it to you next week as well on Let Me Get That Potograph. But we're doing some pretty neat stuff with some Panini NFTs as well over on Letter Rip that I think is going to carry over to Let Me Get That Potograph. I just got to talk to the fine folks at Panini. But
Andrew, don't forget Time Travelers Club meets yesterday at 10 o'clock.
And there's no better way to end it. So on that note, guys, you know the deal. Keep ripping those packs, pulling those hits. We'll talk to you next week. Peace.